And welcome to the Smoke Break. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Jasmine Nothing.
Hello.
And Eli Gray.
Yeah, that's me.
Eli Gray is the founding director of WERQ TOGETHER, and I am so excited to have you on our podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to do a real quick disclaimer, and that is just to say that this is for entertainment purposes only. We work in the field of mental health, but don't claim to be professionals in this space. Our intention is to have conversations around lived experience, and as a result, we may not always agree with everything our guests say, but we do intend to hold space for open conversations and learning from one another. Eli, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. I guess I do work in mental health. I'm a peer wellness specialist and a personal health navigator, certified recovery mentor, and I'm also a mediator.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, it sounds
There's some good credentials.
Yeah, those are amazing credentials. Mediator as well.
Yeah, that was really fun. Beaverton has a training that does mediation, and that was just like a way to kind of do like the wraparound services and help trans people stay housed with mediation.
Hell yeah. That's
well,
also an amazing way to use that.
Definitely. So tell me a little bit about WERQ TOGETHER.
Yeah, I'm from Texas, and I moved up here about 2 years ago, and I started to go to this trans support group. And so it was the first time in my life that I'd ever been in a room full of trans people. And that was like really healing, but maybe also really activating to a part of me that I hadn't let help people. And so in this support group, people would come, and whether they'd been here 6 days, 6 months, or 6 years, they were still searching for something, whether that was a better job, a better roommate, or community. And so trans people have always been helping each other, and I just put a sticker on it and named it something. So yeah, it's just a way to move
Just
forward.
organized it. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, we were gonna do it anyways. So
Yeah.
And that's kind of a cool way of looking at it, is like, this was work I was planning on doing anyways. How can I formalize it in a way to like make sure that I'm reaching as many people as possible?
Yeah. We the first year that we had a website, 560 people reached out, and 100 people have reached out just this year already.
God damn.
Wow, that's so impressive.
Which is amazing, and also like such a testament to like the blank spots people have in their life and how much need there is.
Yeah, everywhere. Like trans people in the small towns that, there's no job opportunities, and they're just trying to see what could be possible.
Yeah. Well, one of the topics that you had said that you wanted to talk to us about was trans joy.
Yeah.
And just I think like joy, trans joy, like joy is such a hard thing to come by with it during these times. I imagine trans joy is something that's even more difficult. What's been like your experience?
Yeah, like the world seems so dark, and like everything is on fire right now with ICE, the presence of ICE, what's happening to immigrants, what's happening to American citizens. It feels almost silly to mention joy sometimes.
Sure.
And like there's some guilt or some shame that should be highlighted. And so I'm like pushing past that, because we're all worthy of joy. Like we all should have happiness and community, and not just survive, but like thrive with full lives. And joy's a part of that. And creativity, art, laughing, food, that's all joy, can be joyful as well.
And just to like help counteract, I feel like so many of the like trans people in the media or the news or whatever, it is mostly like terrible, heartbreaking stories. And so just finding ways to like help balance that out.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and I've heard the idea of like joy is resistance, and I love that idea of like this is us refusing to have joy taken from us. Like if I can find joy in the small things in my life, that means that all these atrocities that they're trying to force in our face and remind us that life is bad and that people are untrustable. Like it means that programming isn't working, because I think that we have to stand up against that. And a lot of that is finding happiness. Like, where do we find it? How do we find it? Like, where do you feel like you found joy recently?
I get to talk to trans people every day. And so, well, yeah. So like one time, new person, and they are a Therian. And so when I met with them virtually, they were chewing on a dog toy, and I was like, I just had to process it a little bit, but ultimately that gave them joy, and I now find joy in them just being themselves.
Sure.
We have
Can I be ignorant and ask what a Therian is?
Somebody who identifies as non-human.
Okay.
They identify as a dog.
Okay.
There's a nonprofit, I Love Youth Too, that has a spot at Lloyd Center, and they do a youth Therian group once a month. And I love that there's a space for folks to explore identity without the assumption of sex. And so those spaces where people can do that and have the furries and the costumes and stuff, but for youth it's just like really cool to me. So I find joy in other people like being themselves.
Yeah.
Life is just so short to not.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I would say that, like I've been here for 34 years. And it's been pretty dope so far, but I can definitely say that it's the periods where I wasn't living authentically that were like the most painful years of my life, and it's almost like those years felt longer because, I was doing like an extra duty of living inauthentically. Of not understanding my queerness, not understanding like identity stuff, like just trying to be like things that I would be worried about, like the way that I walk, like am I walking like a man? Is this how a man walks? And do men think about how men walk? It's like I'm over here just tripping in my head about something when it's just like you realize you got like a whole life to live, and that like you there's other things to think about. This is the thing that's circling in my head, is just like this is how men walk, and I'm doing it.
I did get adult autism diagnosis a couple years ago, probably like a year ago, and I joke that I learned how to walk and talk and be human because of theater. And so like I had a director like tell me like, you're standing too close to that table, it looks weird, back away. Or like, you're moving with your hips, you're swaying a little bit, that's too feminine of a walk. So I have no idea if I'm masking or if I just like
had a good director.
Yep. Someone directed me how to be, and it stuck.
Oh, shit, I want one. I don't even need to be a play for it. Somebody can just tell me what I should do different.
I mean, I think that it was acting something that gives you joy.
Absolutely. I love theater. I think there's such freedom in setting aside who you are for just a moment. And I imagine both of y'all have characters that you step into on stage that are healing for the person off stage as well.
I also have this like very silly thing that I do whenever I'm feeling like an imposter, where I'm like, okay, the person that if I was to cast a movie with this person in it, I like, what would the most confident host of a show look like? I don't have to be that person. I just have to pretend to be that person. So what would they dress like? How would they move their body? How much energy would they have? And then I'll just fake being that person. And it's very silly, but it kind of works.
Yeah.
So I'm just like directing me, really.
Yeah, y'all are such wonderful hosts and community builders. A lot of comfort that y'all bring to the spaces y'all create.
I appreciate that. Well, I mean, I think that with like creating spaces, that like creating that comfort is important. How have you been able to do that, or what challenges have you found in like trying to do that?
Last summer we launched a volunteer program through the org, and one of the earliest volunteers started calling the people that we were helping resource poachers. And
cool.
I had no idea what to say. I was completely dysregulated. I shut down the volunteer program. I stopped talking to those people. Wow. But I ended up becoming a trauma-informed care Oregon trainer. So I took a lot of training.
Those guys are great.
Yeah, I love Meg and maybe whoever the program director is. She's this little
Mandy?
Yes, Mandy. Yeah, she's like a rocket. She is
Yeah,
just awesome.
she's fiery.
Yeah. Yeah, so she was great and she was really inspiring. And then after that, I took all those certifications and stuff. But in that moment, I had no idea how to tell that person you were wrong. And I sat with it for months. And now I have the tools to tell everybody, like, trans people are not resource poachers. We are resourceful, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people getting their needs met.
Yes. Yeah. It's so baffling to how that person like created that. You can Google resource poaching and it's not a thing. So they like sat with it and analyzed what was happening and built that.
I mean,
Just sad.
They're like creative in their bigotry, I guess.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Damn.
Well, I mean, I think that I don't know, on the opposite of joy, a lot of hate. And I think that is it comes from a lot of like not knowing and volunteering to not know. And if you either don't know or you choose not to know, it's very easy to hate or dislike.
Something you don't understand.
Yeah.
Where are you finding like kind of like validating gender related joy these days?
I honestly just want to get my ears pierced.
Sweet. Claire's.
I know. Just a piercing gun, just dual pistols, just.
I mean, I do have that Amazon $5 Amazon
Metro
gun
is
at
making
home.
making really good earrings, and this is a shameless plug for Metro's earrings. But yeah, Metro's making really good earrings, and I was like, those are sick. Those I want to wear those.
I also made earrings with your face on them.
Well, I'm not vain enough to. I don't think I could ever. I don't think.
I bet Jasmine would wear them.
I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do regularly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't. But I could if it had your face on them. Then
We can make each other.
Yeah.
We can advertise for each other. I like it. I'm down.
Absolutely.
That's great.
We're actually getting everybody a pair of smoke break earrings.
Surprise.
So, yeah,
Cool.
yeah, or plugs, whatever you decide. Yep.
Sweet.
Just gauges.
It's fun to have more accessories. Accessories are a fun way to like show more personality. And
Yeah. No, I
I
Decorations.
have seen your merch table, so
thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a lot. Technically, that wasn't a compliment. It was just a statement, and I said thank you. But I'm
I
proud
bought
of it.
merch.
It's a lot. I like making all of my stuff. I ordered zipper
would
pouches
too.
today. We haven't had those before.
a zipper pouch.
Like all the little pouches I have in my bag with like 400 things in them. You know,
Yeah.
just little guys.
What about you? How are you feeling more liberated in your gender stuff?
I don't know that. I just started a new job where nobody gives one shit about the fact that I use they them pronouns, and I've given up trying. And so I'm kind of practicing like that not being important to me. Like them using the correct word is just like, why does that have to matter that much? Like my coworkers are one thing, but like the youth that I'm working with, like I am working so hard to get them to stop saying like the R slur and the N word, that like the idea of, or like stop calling girls hoes. To their face in the space, that I'm just like, yeah.
The R slur, the N word, those ones I get, but like
hoe is too much.
Yeah, that's why I was like, hold on. They're using what?
The slut shaming is amazing. They
Oh my
really,
gosh.
really are doubling down on it. So the idea of like worrying about my own like they themness is like I just am like, that's not how I'm gonna get this need met. That's fine.
my instinct is like to pat your knee or just be like, I'm sorry that you have to go through that because that sucks.
It does suck.
Yeah.
It just feels like less important than everything else that I feel like is more differently important, I guess, or something. But I've been drawing a lot lately, and I'm having this like weird thing where I keep drawing myself, and I keep referring to me in the drawings as a girl. I'm not a girl. That's a girl, but that's me, and that's complicated. And because I keep saying that all the drawings are like of a girl and a ghost, and I think it's just because I like alliteration.
Yeah, I think it's the alliteration. As soon as you said it, I heard it. I was like, that's
Girl and the
geez.
ghost. I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know. More to come, I think, as far as figuring out where I'll get mine.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is funny that basically as soon as I started using they them, I felt like it was now acceptable to wear dangly earrings. That was too femme
Evolution.
before.
Yeah.
It was like too girly. It's like when you accidentally call my bag a purse, and I'm like, fuck no, it's not. It is not a purse. That's a bag.
The second time was not an accident. I just
Then you were
liked
just
your
fucking with me.
reaction. Yeah.
But yeah,
That's like
now I
when
can
you
wear
hit me in
dangly
the arm.
earrings. I would never.
Wish you could have saw how big Jasmine's eyes got through. I would never.
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, cool. We're going to take a real quick break and we will be right back with the smoke break. And welcome back to the smoke break. I'm your old pal Zane here with Jasmine Nothing
All day.
and Eli Gray.
Hey, yo.
We were talking a little bit about it earlier, but I wanted to come back to it. Building community. It's something that I feel like is you can do in a lot of different ways. Sometimes you can do it by starting an organization, being a part of an organization, or sometimes it's throwing events. What's a way that you are building community?
Yeah, it's showing up to other people events. Definitely.
Which is how we met.
Yeah, your events.
Yeah.
Doing the nonprofit, but we're also throwing an event for Trans Day of Visibility, Trans Town, Sunday, March 29th at the Red. The Red is this incredible industrial space, can hold 700 people. Yeah, it's giant.
Cool.
There's like garage doors that lift up. There's wood and metal. There's a commercial kitchen. So we're having Mistocones, which is a vegan trans-owned restaurant who is so incredible. They give food away to the community like every single day.
Beautiful,
I was helping a person relocate and I was building a food plan with them and they were like, yeah, I just eat at Mistocones. So being trans, being awesome chefs, they're going to do some live cooking demos in the Red's commercial kitchen, which has like screens above the stove and everything.
Wow.
Then Healing House PDX is this new nonprofit in town that helps trans people post-surgery, and they provide meals, and they're also going to do a cooking demo showing a little bit of high protein things that you could like easily cook for your trans friend after they have surgery.
That's dope.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
And
a
then
really cool
one more other cool demo is going to be No More Dead Friends, which is a trans-led mutual aid org, and they're going to do an adaptive Narcan training for folks in wheelchairs. And so
Whoa,
we're
that's really
doing
cool.
little things like that, moving beyond just the exchange of money, which is very cool. Give more money to trans people always, but also the exchange of knowledge, of food, of creativity, and joy, and hopefully build community together.
And what do people do if they want to go to that?
Transtown.org. That's our Give Butter site. You can donate, you can buy tickets, volunteers get a free t-shirt. Transtown.org.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
I'm excited. Telltale's going to table at it. So
Sweet.
we're stoked.
Yeah. Well, and something you said was like that like really stuck out to me was like going to other people's events. I feel like I forget about that aspect is because like we're constantly doing the thing where we're throwing the event that it's just like, oh yeah, going to other events and meeting people is like how you build community. I think that it's important to, I don't know, how are you about like getting out and kind of like widening your circle?
Not good.
Me either.
Being autistic, I call people in my life friendlies. Because it's just like a protective of myself, maybe.
Fair enough.
Sure.
But I also have a fiance, and that's who I bring.
The ultimate friendly.
Yes, and we go to events together. So that makes it a lot easier, like having a buddy. Yeah. Definitely.
I got my Jasmine buddy that helps me go to events because I don't know. I want community. I'm somebody who desperately wants community and to be surrounded by people that like I can look at, be excited to see, stuff like that. But I'm also somebody like who has schizoaffective, and I get like easily overwhelmed by people, because it's like if the voices in my head, for lack of a better word, are telling me all these bad things, then like they're telling me these bad things while there's people around, then like I'm associating the bad things with the people. Weird. So it's like it becomes this kind of isolating thing where it's just like I want to be around people, but when I'm around people, it freaks me out.
That's the thing that we've both been like burnt by people so many times. That there's just that feeling of like, oh God, like what? Am I just gonna like make friends with these new people who I'm gonna think are amazing and really reliable and then get fucked over again, and it'll just be a new kind of heartbreak. And I just feel like my quota for heartbreak is like real overly sated, and I don't really just want to like try. I don't want to try again.
Yeah. I can't take dishonesty at this point. If you say that you like chocolate chip cookies and you only said you liked it because I said that I liked it, that's a lie that I can't take at this point. That's just
which feels tiny, but
it feels tiny and minute, but at this point, it's too much.
Yeah. We have very much of a pact of like not even like the tiniest
Yeah.
of just like we cannot lie to each other about anything.
Yeah.
I love
y'all
chocolate chip
roommates?
cookies.
Huh?
Are y'all roommates?
No,
Oh,
we have
okay,
been.
fine. Where?
But no.
True.
Yeah. We spend probably about as much time together as roommates. It would be more convenient to be roommates because it would be less of a
True.
commute. But
Yeah. Well, speaking of community,
oh, look at you.
well, I mean, I don't know. I think like building community, like let's like even use us as an example, right? Like we're two people who spend a lot of time around each other. We've built a circle that we're trying to expand, and it's like that is the scary part. Is the like I want more people to be a part of this circle, but I also need the people who I'm adding to that circle to be an addition to my life, not a subtraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like people to help you hold that circle so that you're not the only one saying, hey, look, here's this circle.
Yeah.
I've talked to other nonprofits, particularly Q from Afro Village, and she's struggled to find like a second. And so she's been doing all this work, but everybody gets burnt out. And like you found a co-host, someone to carry the torch when
After 9 years, though.
Right.
I mean, I did Telltale for 9 years by myself, and other people asked, and I was way too protective and like territorial, and just be like, no, I don't think so. But yeah, year 10.
Yeah. So sometimes it takes people stepping up to be like, I see you, and I think I could help in a positive way.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's a matter of like showing up though, because like that's the kind of hard thing with like community is it's like it's something that you can't really gain by not showing up. Like you can build a community from afar. Like we all had to build kind of communities during COVID from afar, but like a community, I feel like in my experience is ultimately like it's like a place, it's like it's a place where everyone can kind of just meet up, or it's multiple places where everyone can meet up, but it's the same people, but it's this idea that like you can kind of create, I don't know, I'm just gonna say like a Marvel universe of like all of our lives are interconnected and it's all tied together.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not significant if we're not interacting with each other, it becomes this very isolated experience.
Yeah. In that sense, I think community is healing. That when you're at that point of like, oh, well, I've spent 3 days alone. I need to get out there. And then it's hard, but you find yourself maybe watching a drag show, or maybe listening to Jasmine, maybe listening to you, and you start to laugh and you're like, oh, this is why I do this. This is why I put myself through the anxiety of like getting outside so that I can remind myself like queers are amazing. Trans people are amazing. We have such incredible stories to share with people. If only they would come and listen sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and I think that like, sometimes like I'm the one who has to also show up, because it's just like I've had shows and been like, where the hell is everybody? And then like somebody has a show and I'm just like, not tonight.
It's
And it's just like,
it's really cold out.
Yeah. It could be anything. It's really warm out. I'm just I can't now. What's a community that you feel yourself always coming back to? And why?
Trans people, and adjacently just gender nonconforming, non-binary, intersex, two-spirit people. The nothing about the world was built with us in mind, and I think that it weighs really hard on people when they struggle and that they feel like they've done something wrong when the world is difficult to navigate, but the world was built incorrectly. Like we just all need a little bit of extra help as trans people, because trans people deserve more. And community sharing resources, sharing knowledge about how we got through mental health issues or navigating housing, to not gatekeep those resources and just share them openly with each other.
Yeah. Access to everything that's going to make you be able to live your best life.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like that's kind of that's something that's really important to me in like community spaces, is sharing resources, is like understanding that like you as an individual probably aren't going to come to every answer that you're going to need in your lifetime, but like if you're surrounded by the right people, you can come to the answers. And I think that being able to just source that out to each other, and trust that like you don't have to do everything by yourself.
You've been talking about the idea of like building your team.
Yeah. I definitely like, are you a gamer? Are you a Dungeons and Dragoner?
I'm a simmer.
You're a simmer. All right, you get it. You get like building a team. You got your house. You have each person that is really good at doing this and really good.
Yeah.
I think that it's similar to that. Like I think of it as Dungeons and Dragons, because like I'm a huge nerd, but Dungeons and Dragons, where it's like, okay, you have a fighter who's really good at this, but you also have a bard who's really good at like talking to people, and you kind of need every kind of person in your party, especially in the world that we're living in. That we have to build that circle. We have to understand how we can all be a positive impact on each other.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I feel like community building gets like thrown around a lot, but people, it's not just like all meeting up at the bar. That can be like part of it.
Sure.
But the idea of like showing up when it's like really hard or when you think that person sucks, and or like when it's inconvenient, and then also in a completely, absolutely hypocritical way, letting people do the same for you. So like being a burden on people sometimes is like kind of a gift because it's like such a vulnerable thing to do that you're like letting someone else into your life that way. And I'm going to practice that.
Yeah, do that more.
It's tough. It's risky.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful when you realize that you have space to allow somebody to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, oh dang, I can be a good friend. Like I can be better than I thought.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a certain amount of it's like it feels like a trust fall, like community to me feels like a trust fall. And there's like, I feel like I've had like community trust falls where like I fell backwards and I didn't get caught. And so I'm just like real scared of like putting my
like why would you try again?
Why try again when
face first?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I know this hurts, never mind. But the problem is that like if properly done, a trust fall can build a lot of trust. You're like, I almost fell, but somebody was there and they caught me. And like the just because it didn't happen that time or that one time or a long time ago, just because it didn't work out that way doesn't mean that you can never trust that process again.
But it does mean taking a risk.
It does mean taking a risk, and it does mean that it could be painful.
Yeah. And that's okay.
I don't like the last part.
I know. I know. It's no good.
That reminds me of you said something about like the pattern or history of not trusting people, and that really is so hard to let your body forget those things. Maybe we all need to like figure out how we'll actually fall into community this year because it's probably needed.
Mm-hmm. More than ever.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's we understand that most people who are looking for community are looking for safety, then like I think that most people just in general are looking for safety. I think that we can just have a little bit more compassion for people who are looking for community, because it's like even people, somebody who has stolen from me might be looking for financial safety. And like, that sucks that they stole from me. But at the same time, like they are trying to meet their needs. And if like, we just understand that people are trying to meet the needs and we address the needs that they're trying to meet and not the action of somebody stealing something.
Person?
Yeah. A desperate person. Yeah. And just understand that like it's desperate times,
Yeah.
Things are hard.
Things are hard and harder for certain people. It's all not great, but community is going to be the thing that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, at least take the edge off.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a lot, but I'm curious, like when y'all were watching things about Minneapolis, I think that was such an example of what community could actually be, and how Portland might get there. Like, because Portland does seem so untrusting of people sometimes. Yeah.
I also think, one of my favorite parts with watching the Minneapolis stuff was the cross section of people that were part of it. That it wasn't just like the activist crew or whatever, because I feel like that's who like normally goes to Portland stuff. It's just, yep, those are the same. Those are your activist friends. Those are the same ones that are going to be in front of the ICE building. But in this case, it was like just random people who were just like, fuck no. Like, I'm mad. I don't care about any of this stuff normally, but this is fucked and I'm going to do something about it. And like, I wonder how we could get more of that.
Yeah.
I think it's understanding that, you know, the people who we don't realize that we have that much in common with are more often than we thought, or, you know, and there's a chance for us to be surprised by the people who are on our side, and we have to just allow ourselves to be surprised. So,
hell yeah.
All right, cool. We're going to take one more break and we'll be right back with the smoke break. And welcome back to the smoke break. I'm your host, your old pal Zane, here with Jasmine Nothing.
One more time.
And Eli Gray.
Heyo.
All right. For the third topic, we're going to talk about agency, where we all work in the field of like mental healthy social work stuff, and the idea of how hard you are working for a client that maybe is not ready to necessarily do what you are trying really hard to do for them, and how hard should you be working versus how much should you be expecting out of the person? What is realistic? This was one of the topics you brought up, Eli.
Yeah, that's a hard one. It's just hard.
It is.
You want to do like everything that you can, but if the other person, you know, like even 20/80, you know, if they can't get to 20, then it's like, how can you convince yourself that if you went all the way, that they would succeed or finish it out? It just weighs on me a lot. I've only been doing this for a year, though. Y'all been doing it longer.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot. Like, how do you decide how much effort is like reasonable to put in for somebody? How much is actually like supportive versus like eventually doing them a disservice by kind of, I don't really believe in people being like entitled, but like if everything is always done for a person, like they are not going to be learning skills on their own. So it does make sense for you to expect them to like participate in their own process at some point. And also like what are the reasons they're not participating? Is their mental health preventing them from doing it? Is their executive functioning not letting them do it? Are they too scared to go to the DMV for a reason that you're not understanding? So there's just like so many moving pieces that it's really easy for me to just be like, well, I'm just going to assume that there's something I'm missing and just do everything for the person ultimately. And I don't think that actually helps long term.
Yeah. Well, and I think you do people a disservice like by doing things for them in the sense that like you kind of start like building a resentment for doing something for somebody who's not doing for themselves.
Yeah, and I think that burnout can catch up with you faster that way.
Yeah.
Compassion fatigue.
Compassion fatigue. Yeah, exactly. It's like I want to, you know, meet hopefully somebody at like their like the stages of change, right? Like, I think that that's such an interesting thing of, you know, like understanding that like where somebody is at in their willingness or even just like perception that change needs to happen.
Yeah.
And you can't force somebody to be somewhere else in that wheel of options before they're ready to do it. And we've probably all tried anyway, because there's those moments where you're like, are you fucking kidding me that you don't understand that this is what needs to happen? Mm-hmm. But there's no amount of like pushing or encouraging or whatever. You can ask a lot of curious questions and deliver new information, and they can move themselves along in the stages of change, but you can't actually force it, even though I wish I could.
Yeah, I think I default to oversharing information. In Texas, I built this database of 10,000 resources for queer and trans people, and I could never figure out how to like share it efficiently. So when I moved up here, I built the same kind of database, and I have shared it. And so now when people need something, I'm like, I'm running through my mind of like, okay, this is how this county works. This is how this county works. This is how you get IDD for melanoma versus clackamas. And I wish I could make it simpler for folks, like, because there is so much here for our community, whether that's through the county or the city or a multitude of nonprofits. Navigating it is is difficult.
I'm a resource navigator, so I'm literally like, as you said that, I was like, we need to talk because I don't know what I'm doing either.
Yeah, and like
you're right, it is hard.
Yeah, my peers like that I work with that are also peer wellness specialists. There's this, like we hit a wall sometimes because the resources seem so clear, and then they take like 6 months to access, and so then it's like, okay, well now we need a B and C plan. Even though this is going to happen, we have to figure out all the other ways.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of resources here.
And at what point do you let a person like flounder for a while? Like, I can make this phone call and it would like jumpstart this process. I've told them to do it 10 times. Or like I said, I would make this phone call with you the first 3. I would do the first time. We'll do it together 3 times. And then you make it while I'm in the room with you. And then they just never do that next thing. You can put all the plans in place. But if they just don't do it, like, do you still make the call on the 5th day, or do they fall off the wait list and you just start completely over, which is going to make your life and their life harder? But do you just let it happen because it's a natural consequence of like not following through on the thing that they said they were going to follow through on? Or is their brain just literally not allowing them to do that thing? I don't know, but it's really frustrating for everybody involved.
Yeah. And the stage we're at right now, we have 4 residents at a residential peer support house in Selwood. And so we recently started doing power hours. And I joked that like in college I did drink and we called them power hours, but this is admin.
I was like, cool, that's the association I have.
Yeah, but this is an
Slightly
admin
different.
hour. So every Monday at 10, every Wednesday at noon, and every Friday at noon, we sit.
The bosses get drunk
on spreadsheets. But it's just
That's
a
the
time
least
for
exciting drunk.
everybody to come together. So building a little bit of structure has maybe helped people when they're not sure exactly where their day should be structured.
I mean, I think the structure makes a lot of difference. I think there's like this, I think we rebel against like structure that's imposed on us, but not necessarily against like structure that's unwillingly imposed on us, as opposed to like a structure that's just like comfortable because
structure is supportive.
A shape. Yeah, it's like some kind of shape of something. Having an idea what your day is going to be, as opposed to being told what you have to do with your day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that like I don't know. I think that giving people the ability to like make those choices, you know, and like understand that like even like the stages of change, that like there's certain places that people are at with like understanding that change even needs to happen. You know, like some people don't even see a problem with what they're doing, let alone think that they need to change or are at a place where they're ready to change.
It's a very hard space to be in. My brother is epileptic and doesn't like to talk to a therapist, has not seen a therapist, but they have 2 kids. He has 2 kids. And so there's a part of me that like wants to yell at my mom or be really angry at my mom, but like, how are you letting him do this without care? But ultimately he is an adult and I don't have any say over that.
Yeah, and how important is that autonomy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it affects other people.
Yeah.
I guess I was just going to briefly say that the stages of change is like a model used in social work that starts with pre-contemplation, a person not being aware that there's a problem; contemplation, where somebody is kind of like, oh, maybe there's something, but I'm not ready to do anything about it; preparation, which is getting ready to do something about it; action, which is actually do something about it; maintenance, which is maintaining the change that you made; and a potential for a relapse, which just means you have to have a better plan for next time that you're trying to make a change around that thing.
So that's not just a normal thing that everybody knows is the stages of change. Okay.
No,
all right.
I'm pretty sure you learned it at work.
Okay. Well, that I did. I definitely did. I just thought that I was like, oh, I'm catching up. Everybody else knew this, right?
I might put a little poster now. It's probably helpful.
It is. It really is. Like, you know, like just understanding that like there's there's an area where people are thinking about changing, and then is different than the area where people are actually making a change, or it's different where they're just to have a I don't know.
It's really easy to think that people are being resistant or like being assholes or whatever, versus just like they're just not in the place yet.
Yeah.
And then considering like what would help them get to the place.
Yeah.
Was more important than just being like, fuck you.
That
Work
reminds
harder.
me of like trauma-informed care, just being transparent and providing those options for folks is such a foundation to provide choice.
Yeah, well, and I think something that you can do when somebody's making choices is just be like, okay, well, here are the possibilities or the possible consequences that you may have to face for making decision A or B.
Yeah,
is like just having an understanding of, like that's like a kind of a big harm reduction thing, is just like, I'm going to make sure I'm not going to tell you what decision to make. I am going to tell you what the consequences of each decision are.
just in case you haven't thought about them.
Yeah, just in case you haven't thought about them, just in case you haven't heard of them.
Yeah, without judgment.
Yeah.
Just factual, and then you can make your own decisions.
Yeah.
Just because, that autonomy is so important for people, especially like clients of places, which are normally tend to be people who have like lost autonomy in a lot of different ways. So trying to like give that agency back to people.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing too. Like when folks want to go into residential treatment or want to go to a shelter, that there's the part of me that's like, you could get hurt there. And so have you really thought it through?
You don't want to give them that information and scare them off.
Yes. Yeah.
But also, should they have all the information so they can make an informed decision about their lives?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of the above. 2 things.
It's all a try.
Everything is complicated all the time.
So I bite my tongue a lot, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It turns out that's not helping either. I don't even know what to do anymore. God.
There's a lot of deep breaths.
Yep. A lot of deep breaths.
fidget toys.
So agency, remind me what that for
Giving people autonomy to be able to make decisions on their own.
Yes. What has your experience been with like maybe like authoritative figures and like them giving you agency? Like, were there times that like maybe you didn't have that and you were?
Yeah, my parents were drug dealers, and so I remember yelling at my mom when I was 15. You've given me nothing to rebel against. So
Bars.
but I also went to Montessori school, which is like an education style that places a lot of like independence on the kid and like gives them choices and stuff. So I navigate the world really strongly with like my morals and my values, and I think maybe my autism there's a part of me that hates when people give me orders. So I'm like defiance avoidant maybe, and so I hate authority.
Mm-hmm.
I was kicked out of my 4th grade class, my 6th grade English class, my 7th grade math class, and my senior year. And so
But is it for like righteous reasons?
Yeah, it was my 4th grade teacher didn't know that there was 2 spellings of capital. And so we were doing a spelling test, and I asked for context on which spelling, and she said there's only one spelling.
Nope.
And so, yeah,
That's not true.
I got up and I stood at the door and I said, I just want everybody in here to know I'm going to slam this door. And then I slammed it and I walked to the principal office.
amazing.
I like how you predicted it for the people who didn't want to hear a loud noise.
I was trauma informed. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Accidentally trauma informed before you even knew.
Yeah. So
I'd like
I've
to
had
name
troubles with authority.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Jasmine? What's your experience? You're like, the authority, awesome.
I
This
mean,
is
like
great.
kind of similar, but like parallel. Like I was homeschooled. I never went to school of any kind of any age. And so it was a ton of independence. And so I think that as soon as I did go into any structured spaces where there was like any authority, I was like, oh, I'm not used to this and I do not want to adapt to it now. The high school was really like connected. Their field was connected to my backyard. And so there was this like period of time where I was like allowed to use their library, and the library, her name was Mrs. Wright. And I was just like, I have never called anybody Mrs. or like by their last name ever. Like, why would I do that? Like, I'm not going to do that. They're not better than me. They're not calling me by my last name. And so I found out her first name. I would always call her by her first name. And then I wasn't used to seeing the library anymore because she got mad about it. So yeah, I also don't like authority. I don't do well with it. And then I became authority when I was a manager, and that made it weirder. Because then people didn't like authority against me, and I was like, but I'm not like the man. I'm just like this person.
I'm the them.
I just want you to just do your jobs and stuff. Like, do your job just enough to make me not upset. Like, that's all. How do you feel about authority?
I think it's great. I think that
because you love being a contrarian, and we only have 1 minute left.
it's true. It's true. I'm not the biggest fan, but I think that I am a contrarian, that we only have 1 minute left. And this has been an amazing, I don't know. I just had a really great experience talking with you, Eli. And I appreciate you coming and sharing.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for everything y'all do.
I feel like, work together. I hope that we can
work together.
You got it. Like, I love the smoke break.
And you should definitely come to Trans Town.
Yeah, 329 at the Red, transtown.org.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, that has been the smoke break. I've been your host, your old pal Zane, here with Jasmine Nothing.
See you later.
And Eli Gray.
Have a good one.
Later, players.